I'm coming home, I'm coming home, tell the world I'm coming.
Welcome back to Wilso's Reviews, and today I'm going to review The Amazing Spider-Man. Now, this is a film I watched in either between 2012 or 2013, but I've rewatched it again this year just to get my memory filled up with what I meant. The film takes you in a different direction with the director being Mark Webb this time round, and choosing a new cast with Andrew Garfield taking the reins as Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and Emma Stone taking the reins up as Gwen Stacy. Now this film is a bit different in the that way as well with the actors. They went with different actors for Uncle Ben. He was played by Martin Sheen, and Aunt May was played by Sally Fields, and the villain Dr. Connors was played by Reese Hands, and there's a few other people I can mention, such as the Lieutenant Dennis Heary plays George Stacy, or Captain George Stacy. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so let's get to it. Now, this is pretty much a reboot Spider-Man film. It pretty much takes you through the motions of Peter being this isolated, nerdy kid, sort of, but not really. I found him more of a punk, like a skateboarder, to be honest. He was really into skateboarding and photography, so I didn't find him as big of a nerd as compared with like Tobey Maguire. I thought he fit that role more perfectly than Andrew Garfield. You get to know Andrew Garfield. He's actually a lot more, I feel like, better as Spider-Man than Tobey Maguire was. Compared to if Tobey Maguire I found was more enjoyable as Peter Parker, then I found Andrew Garfield. This is but yeah, so sorry I got off track. Back to the plot. The plot being just this time around we've got a new villain, Dr. Connors, who is making this I guess this formula, and it is somehow to help Norman Osborn because he's got some sort of condition and he's dying for some reason, and there's an executive that's like, you need to hurry up with this cure and whatever, because I think they're financing Dr. Connors. So he feels the pressure with this project that he's doing. He was actually only doing it for the motivation to actually try and regrow his arm, but eventually you find that it does work like that, but it also has a major side effects, and it turns him into a lizard man. It takes you into a bit of a mixed movie of Dr. Connors getting these mixed kind of, I guess, motivations of what he wants to do, and he pretty much just wants to turn the whole city of Manhattan into lizard people. The movie does not explain this to you, why he wants to do it or how he grew this motivation. It just simply just says he just wants to do this. So you're a bit confused in that kind of respect to his motivations as a villain. So like in comparison with older Spider-Man films, I know that people didn't like Spider-Man 3 for many reasons, but I at least knew the motivations of each of those characters. Whereas this guy, I kind of was a bit mixed up with the character. Let's get to Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. Was she a good fit for that role? Yes, but also she doesn't have much to her. She has two kind of like traits that I noticed. She either has a really big crush on Peter Parker, and the other one being she, I guess, can make lizard serum that can fix lizard people in less than 7 minutes. And it doesn't explain to you why. They don't explain enough of that to you. They don't explain how she knew how to do that, or like, you know, they didn't build her up to be this very intelligent scientist woman character that they could have done to make it a little bit more interesting, I thought. But, you know, that's just my opinion though, guys. Like, you know, you don't have to take everything like I say with a grain of salt. Or you can take it like with a grain of salt if you want to. The film is okay with many things happening. I feel it was a very dark kind of a film. Just the lighting, it was very dark. It was very hard to see. And if you watch Batman, you can tolerate the the darkness, because that's what Batman's character is like. He's dark. He's in the dark night, pretty much, in the shadows and just working in the night time. Whereas Spider-Man, he kind of has this bright suit and bright colors. So I wanted to see a little bit more, few scenes with him fighting, criminals in the daytime. There was a few here and there, but not as much as we. The thing I felt like I didn't like about this film was that the characters' motivations are all a bit all over the joint. The Lieutenant does hate Peter Parker and Spider-Man, but the only reason he hates Peter Parker and Spider-Man is because he has a crush on his daughter, Gwen Stacy. Now, you kind of get reason why he would be defensive like that, but they set it up to be like he's the only one that dislikes Spider-Man, so that everyone else in Manhattan does not have a problem with Spider-Man. In the Sam Raimi films, I enjoyed the fact that there was a split kind of 50-50, people who like Spider-Man, people who didn't like Spider-Man. And it was in a lot of the people who didn't like Spider-Man were influenced by media and J. Jameson's newspapers and just the media in general. Whether Spider-Man did good things, he was always had bad publicity thrown at him. So I like that aspect. In this aspect, they don't really focus on much of. Like I said, guys, this isn't a bad film. I may be speaking a lot about negatives. These are just because I'm just critiquing the film from what I've seen. The film, however, is good. I do feel like Andrew Garfield does a lot of better job being more funnier in the film than Tobey Maguire, which was a problem in Sam Raimi's films. That the humor was there, but it was kind of like they had to. I guess they needed to put more effort into it. And in this film, they give it a little bit more effort. They give one particular scene where Spider-Man just goes to town on this criminal. It's really funny. I enjoyed it. But I guess if you were comparing this film with the older films, I kind of do appreciate the older films just for the villains. Because the villains of Spider-Man, I feel like, personally, are very important. You need to pay attention to them. And you really need to give them their motivations very clear. Because they're just good villains like that. So I'm going to give The Amazing Spider-Man a 7 out of 10. It's an okay film. If you love Spider-Man, you will like this film. I enjoyed this film for the most part. I'm sure you will enjoy it for the most part as well. So yes, thank you again for tuning in to Wilso's Reviews. I hope you enjoyed my review, The Amazing Spider-Man, and I hope that you will leave a like or even leave a comment for different ways I could do reviews, or just give me suggestions for future reviews. Also, if you enjoy my content, please subscribe down on the video below, and I'll talk to you soon with more reviews. Thank you again, guys. See you soon. Bye.